Hey, welcome to my living room. Today my living room is all the way home to Pen Grove, California here at Reis Ranch. I want to introduce my lovely wife, Deborah.
Good morning.
I want to give you an invitation to partake in a great 8-week horsemanship course right here at Reis Ranch. We're going to start right at the beginning, right when we put the halter on our horses. Hey, stay tuned, it's going to be a great show. Well, we're going to introduce you to Rico, and Rico is this beautiful horse that's in this stall right here. And we're going to get a nice picture here of Rico. Hey, Rico is a Dutch warmblood, right, Deborah?
Yeah, Dutch warmblood.
And he actually is kind of worried about this camera that's on this guy's shoulder right now. He thinks it's a big old monster. But hey, Rico has a passport, right?
Yeah, he was imported from Germany and brought here to the United States for training and with one of our students.
How old is he?
I think Rico, he's about 18 years old.
17, 18?
Yeah.
Okay, so this horse he's in the our signature program, and this horse here, he's got quite a story to tell. And we want to really give him justice. He's actually a schoolmaster. What's a schoolmaster?
A schoolmaster is a horse that's been trained to a very high level and has really learned how to take care of the rider and teach the rider. So someone who doesn't have many skills, they can get on a schoolmaster horse, and the horse teaches them the movement. I know, he's like, whoa, what is going on out there? I've never seen that camera
before. He goes, what the heck's going on out there?
He's a little camera shy.
She went and bought this horse overseas, spent a lot of money on this horse, shipped him back, flew him back to the United States, ended up in an Olympic level dressage arena in Southern California with one of the, touted the best trainers in the world. And this horse here was just an emotional wreck. And so it didn't work out. She bounced all over the United States trying to get a relationship with this horse that she spent a lot of money on. Frankly, her dream became a nightmare. And 5 years later, she goes, that Dennis Reis, I want to get a hold of him because he's still doing seminars or clinics or whatever. Called up. She said, Dennis, I'll be happy if you can just get me so I can lead my horse from the pen to the arena safely. Right now he's running over the top of me. I'm scared to death of him. All the stuff I thought I'd be able to experience is gone. They put this horse through the mill. And you can see I have, one of my Reis Ranch halters and lead ropes, and just got a 12-foot lead line. And believe it or not, your relationship starts when you put your halter on. And so I'm kind of challenged here with the cameraman. He's already on the muscle now. He's going, what's up with today? Something new to him. But let's go ahead and approach this like a horseman. We'll take the time it takes. It'll take less time. He's okay. So you can see he's already worried. I said this is a very sensitive horse. He's going, what's up with this camera guy here? What are you guys doing to me here? You're okay, Rico. And so if you can just maybe back up about 6 inches for me, and then close the door behind you, and you can kind of foam over it. He kind of feels a little claustrophobic with that camera there. Okay. Hey, in the stall, we got rubber mats in here for him. He's got a salt lick. It's a real nice cinder block barn. These horses get out every single day. And this horse here, he's a show horse. He spent lots of time, frankly too much time in stalls and so forth. And so let me go ahead and get him caught here. You're okay, Rico. You're okay. And we'll go ahead and approach him here and say, you're okay, Rico. You're all right. There you go. Good boy. There you go. I know. It's okay. You're okay. He said he's a real sensitive cat. Yeah, you're a good boy. Let's go ahead and pet him again. Now he starts turning that butt to me. I want to get out of his way. You don't want to get yourself injured here. I don't want him to feel trapped in here, though. I never want to come in these stalls and punish him in here. This is going to be like their sanctuary. And this horse here, he's really unique. Like in his feed bucket, you feed him, get out of his way. His ears are back. He says, I'm going to be left alone. So there's got to be a sanctuary here. So I do my best to not like round pen a horse in a stall and really get after one in here. There's got to be a place where they can just feel comfortable and have their sanctuary. So this is kind of exciting. I'm glad this camera's here. He'll get used to this, believe it or not, because horses can overcome fear. Now, if we shove it down his throat, every time he sees a camera, he'll be beside himself. So we'll get him used to this camera here. See how he's kind of getting closer to the camera there? Now I'll get maybe back up another couple inches if I could. And before too long, he'll come up here, he'll actually be up here kind of exploring it. Now, kind of look at you there. Next time he looks at you, I just want you to come a little closer here for me, the camera. Come a little closer. Kind of feel him here. Come a little closer there. When he stops and looks at you, back up. Okay, that was cool. So he actually looked at you, and our cameraman has a pretty good feel there. He actually pulled the camera away. Horses learn and they release the pressure. So I'm going to have him come a little closer here again. Back away. Hey, the cameraman, score one for our cameraman. And look what he did. He's saying, well, maybe it's not a threat. Horses learn on the release of pressure. Hey, he took a step. He actually took a step towards you. What did we do? We backed away. And I'll kind of go ahead and say, I backed away too. It's very unique how horses relate. Now, when he came here, they just kind of forced him to it. Like right now, they already have him up there in the barn, tied up. Now, before you tied him up, he danced all around. You couldn't get the saddle on. He was just beside himself because they never let him have a chance to understand things from his point of view. He's actually licking and chewing. And I looked over, the cameraman backed away too. Now, I'll go ahead and pet him here and say, hey, Rico. Now we got his curiosity working for us. He actually kind of breathing a little normal there. I'll go ahead and rub him here for a minute. Now, just say he already prepared himself to leave. And I'm not going to get after him. I'm going to put myself in a risky spot here either. Hey, you're a good boy. You're all right. Put a little pressure on his butt right there. There you go. Now he turns away from me here, like that. Put a little pressure on that rear end. That's as much pressure as I'm going to put on him in here. This is typically how you'll see people working horses. They'll hide the halter behind their back, and they'll punish them real bad and then sneak around them. This is not going to be a halter and a lead rope here that I'm going to use different where it's a brush. And he has shavings all over him still yet, and I call shavings on here, I call them pajamas. He still has his pajamas on. I'll back away again. He actually turned towards me a bit. I'll put a little pressure on his hindquarters here. There you go. We'll go pet him again. If I had to get him caught and the barn was burning down, we'd get him caught, okay, very efficiently. When we have this kind of time for you at home, wouldn't it be nice if we always had this kind of time on our hands? He's afraid of the camera. He's been in and out of the stall for a year. But we'll kind of show you how we work about here, where what we do behind the barn, we want to do in front of the barn, okay? Okay, so we'll go ahead and put our halter on here and get his mind over here. I tie this knot on here. I want to make it so it fits. This knot I tie between here and here. Hey, once again, our 8-week horse course. I've had the best of the best. I couldn't get a halter on, so we'll go ahead and I got his head down low here. He's actually kind of he's afraid of the camera, but he's actually being a little submissive here. His mind's over here. We'll tie this knot off. Okay, so from this point forward, I got him on my halter. As far as I'm concerned, he's my responsibility. His feet are mine. Okay, and that means I can touch him. He can't touch me. Now, when he came here, he was just in self-preservation, and he would just as soon put his head down, lock his jaw, and he'd take you sand skiing. Sand skiing is when you're actually holding on to the end of that rope and you're just skiing around the corral because he's been learning to run off. And so now his feet are mine. And I consciously tell myself when I approach a horse, the halter's on, feet are mine. At the end of my ride, I consciously take the halter off and say, okay, these 4 feet are yours now. They're, again, his sanctuary or the pasture or the paddock. Okay, now we're going to do this. Pretty cool. I want to have my cameraman help me out. Don't run me over. I want to have my cameraman, we're going to get to the arena, but he's going to go backwards. I want him to follow this camera. Okay, so I have my cameraman go that way. He's going to back up for me. And we're going to get Rico to think that camera is afraid of him and chase it. And you'll see before too long, we'll have his nose on that camera. See them looking at it? They're curious. We'll take a step out of the stall here. Now, see right there, I say, you got to look at me here and back away from me. If I back away from me, there you go. If I approach him with energy, and I establish this bubble between him and I, he's got to yield to it, like that, a back up, a release, like throwing a switch off. He licked and chewed, lowered his head, keeping his mind on you. Going to walk towards you here. Stopping. When he came here, flight mode, I'm out of here. Right now, we're maintaining our relationship as far as being good leaders. Hey, with some adversity of the camera. I'm maintaining like a 6-foot bubble between him and I right now. And people say, well, do you always have to lead your horse and being out in front of him like that? Hey, there's times I'll drive him from behind, like a driving rein with one rein. I'll drive him with 2 reins from behind. I can be wherever I want, but right now we're choosing to keep this 6-foot bubble. Don't just turn your back on your horse and walk 6 foot out there. When you walk this way and you have kind of a tight horse that's kind of scared, keep your eye on him and keep that safe bubble. Hey, if they ran you over and you're maintaining a 6-foot bubble, it happened 5.5 feet back and you missed it, okay? So be attentive here. If I stop, he's got to stop. And we're working our way up to the corral. And look at that. Pet him again. Go ahead and pet him again. Look at that. Okay, so, hey, a whole show about putting a halter lead rope on? What's up with that? But you know what? This is the first of our 8-week horsemanship course. And this is how we work here, how we roll. I think it's pretty fascinating. We look at horses' behavior, horses' instincts, licking and chewing, how and why they learn, his perspective, his sanctuary, his needs. They're awesome, man. Horses are awesome, make you cry. If this is what excites you, we have pretty cool stuff here to offer you, this 8-week course. So he overcame his fear. We're ready to go ahead and work our way to get a saddle on him now. Hey, we got Rico in the round pen. Haven't brushed him yet. Haven't done anything to pick his feet out or get him ready to be, to groom him yet. He's got to be prepared for that. And so one of the biggest problems they have with him was they never let him go. They never let him be a horse. They just kind of made him stand still. He was like, shut up and sit still there. He couldn't stay still. He had to move around. It had to be his idea. And so I put him in a round pen initially. He didn't want to watch me. He had no clue. I was talking like Chinese to him. He had no clue what I was saying. Now, we got a relationship going where my gestures mean something to him. It's a consistent body language. And so horses are masters at reading body language. I'm going to go ahead and step over here. And he's loosening the round pen, and I got his undivided attention. I walk away. He follows me. It creates that draw or suction where he finds rest with me before he is to bolt and find rest somewhere else. If your horse is running away, it's a good indication right now he's running away from you. You want your horse to run to you. He's following me, licking and chewing. Pretty neat. So getting that halter on correctly established our working relationship to lead into here. If I violated him down there, he'd go, what's up with this deal? So you want to try to live material of horsemanship. So I'm going to be over here on his right side. And let's see if I can actually do a move here. Let's see if I can demonstrate outwardly if I can diffuse his hindquarters. That means if I get the hindquarters to do this. We call that disengaging the hind end. I'm making believe like I have a lead rope on him. So my gestures have to be clear as if I'm pulling on a rope, pushing the hindquarters. So the first principle I shared with you earlier in our 8-week course was, hey, I can touch him, he can't touch me. Hey, that first principle. 8-week course, we want to live that. The next principle is, how about this? Preparing to a position for transition. That means a transition is a change of gait, direction, speed, balance. What if I was always prepared, in position, got him prepared in position before I asked for that transition? That demonstrated to be a pretty good leader. You go, well, maybe I'll follow this guy around. He gets me prepared. He's clear. He's concise. He rewards me for the smallest change and slightest try. Maybe I'll follow this knucklehead around, he's saying. Prepare to a position for transition. Rewarding the smallest change and the slightest try, and utilizing that escalation of aid through your body language. Check it out. Pull the eye. Push the hindquarters. Push the hindquarters, pull the eye. Push the hindquarters faster, 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 faster. Pressure off. Reward, licking and chewing. He understood that. He turned loose of his weapons. On the right side, I'm hooked up to him. You gotta go through every little spot, every little nuance to create the environment to work in, where there's an understanding taking place, because it's imperative that you stop at the appropriate time, because horses learn on a release. So now, I gotta groom them. Do you know at some barns, they alleviate all this other stuff and they tie them up and they go ahead and brush them. And they're really shiny on the outside and really troubled on the inside. If I can't brush him being loose in here, I'm trying to brush something that doesn't want to stand still. It's kind of silly. If he can't appreciate being brushed and staying still, he's not ready to be brushed or stood still. So let's get him groomed up for you. Got my first horse when I was 10 years old, and been working horses my whole life. And now I'm 57 years old, and I got me a pink bucket and even a treat here. And my pink bucket is a metaphor for us macho cowboys that maybe need a machoectomy, to actually maybe think about brushing your horse. Give him some treats. They don't have to be, they don't have to bite you and be disrespectful. And look at this. He's standing still, looking forward to being brushed. You know, so we live this material. Now, if he wouldn't stand still for this, if I had to time it to do this, I think I'm doing something wrong. And that's where he came in. When he came in here, he couldn't be at peace. He had to be somewhere else. And now you kind of see, well, maybe this brushing's okay. And this is the whole feel that we have through the whole program. Now, there again, I got my brush here. If I say, hey, Rico, face up to me, move your hindquarters. Move your hindquarters. Face up to me, move your hindquarters. I'm applying horsemanship to my brushing, okay? Now I would have hated just to have brought him up here and put the camera on and said, now, show me something. Well, I think we showed you a lot. Just on getting him ready so we can show you something. How would your horse be doing right now? Like with that. It's pretty cool, huh? Every time I work with my horses, I pick their feet up beforehand, check for any kind of, shoes intact, rocks, something in the way. I treat their feet, for bacterial infections or whatever it may be, like, thrush. So we'll go ahead and pick his feet out. I also use protective gear on him. I put sports medicine boots on him. On all my horses that are here, I have protection on them, so if they were to step on themselves or hurt themselves while they're working, it kind of takes the try out of them. And a lot of times these maneuvers we ask for these horses, they'll kind of step on themselves or cross over, bang themselves. Let's go ahead and put our protective gear on them. So hey, all my horses, I put my sports medicine boots on them. Safety. Hey, if you get hurt, horse gets hurt when you work with them, doing something wrong. Generally, I just kind of pack them up like this here, so they're not all, this Velcro can get kind of all tangled up in itself. So kind of show you how I put these things on. The little spot here is kind of cupped. I'll kind of cup it right there in that pastern, and I'll secure that one there first. And I'll secure that one, this third one, and then this final band kind of comes up around, supports the back of your horse's area there. And they got to go on there neatly, not too tight, and darn sure not like an old dirty diaper that can actually cause more harm. If you enjoyed this, we'll see you next week. He feels okay with the cameraman now. I think he feels okay because he can see you at home right now. Horses have that insight. Horses know when you know and know when you don't know. So hey, it's been a great show. If I don't see you in the future, I'll see you in the pasture. Hey, God bless you, and thank you so much for letting us have the opportunity to be back on RFD TV.
Thank you for watching Dennis Reis Universal Horsemanship. Make sure to tune in next week for part 2.